Self-discipline and self-mastery are posh self-development terms for somebody who is in control of their lives, who has mastery over their emotions, over their plans and projects, who knows where they stand now but also visualizes dreams and foresees the future and sets out to make it come true. So you start off by being the dreamer, and that dreamer is he who knows who they are but also imagines who they want to become in the near future and the distant future. And so you visualize that dream and it turns into a burning desire that pushes you towards its acquisition. And then you become the creator. Once your vision is clear, you set to work trying to make it come true, crafting, reviewing and changing, recruiting, and doing everything that needs to be done to bring that dream to vision and to a favorable outcome to yourself. And once that outcome is acquired, you become the giver. You share the process, you share the product, and you share the joy and everything that that vision and its creation and the outcome have brought into your life. And that is what it means to master yourself. Follow up thought with process, with outcome, the discipline to do it your way, irrespective of everything else that is happening around you. At the other end of that person with self-mastery is he who struggles with discipline, who struggles with self-awareness. And that is the person who is more likely and vulnerable to influence. And instead of being the dreamer and the creator and the giver, they are the one who are more likely to respond, to retribute or reciprocate action that is coming from externally, that is challenging and pulling them away from their own initiative, their own enthusiasm to do what is pleasing and meaningful to them. Response means that your actions are foiled by external stimuli, and that stimuli can move you in a negative direction, in which case you are reciprocating bat for bat, evil for evil, insult for insult, and your emotions rise and fall in accordance to that stimuli and wherever it's coming from. So as we look into the value of self-discipline and self-mastery, it's very important to take note of these points. For you to be disciplined, you have to be able to take action that is meaningful at the right time and towards fulfilling the right thing or service in your life. Discipline means following up that thought or dream or vision with action that equates its acquisition, that starts the process of creation for you, and then figure out where you're going and what and who you need in that direction and destination that you're going. Being able to take that favorable action is you being in charge and in command of that dream and that thought and that process, and knowing exactly what it means to you. Self-mastery requires a healthy amount of self-discipline and sacrifice. When you're able to give in easily, you will struggle to have self-mastery and self-discipline, because giving in is you responding. But self-discipline means that you sacrifice being right and responding to that provocation. It means that you sacrifice time and energy when you see that delicious piece of inviting meal and tell yourself that you've had enough food for the day. Those are the short-term sacrifices that yield long-term gain for you. Failure of which you gain the short-term gains and you lose long-term in the value of health or every other thing that those immediate pleasures have ripped you of for the long term. And it takes sacrifice to either go every day and do those things that need to be done consistently, or sacrifice to stay away from those tempting things, those things that invite you, but that you know that as much as you enjoy them in the short term, they are likely to impact you negatively in the long run. It's very difficult not to respond to those positive and negative stimuli. When you have party after party to attend, both to celebrate friends or to support friends, it's difficult to just say, no, I'm not coming because I have this selfish thing that involves my growth in such and such a direction that I have to do. That's not what I mean by discipline, but at the same time, you have to find the balance between being there, being involved, having that social life, and having a life of your own. Having a job and having a family that can rely on you, and having every other thing that is external, but also building on the internal, working on those dreams, following up those desires, and making that creative process a valuable one that will yield outcomes not just for you, but for everyone else around you. Because when we get pulled into those triggers and stimuli and responses, we lose sight of who we are. We lose sight of what we want, and we potentially lose sight of those dreams and everything else that embodies us, and thereby fail to be there, present for those that we responded to, or responded with, without standing on our own firm feet, dreaming our own dreams, and following up our own processes. So being in charge may seem selfish, but until you're in charge and dreaming those dreams and creating those creations and bringing them into those positive outcomes, starting with your own health and well-being and your own dreams and your own joy and your own space, you will struggle at that stage of giving, because what you give is what you have to give. And what you give is who you are that embraces your own values and your own thoughts and your own mindset.